All right, folks, it's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and it's time for our deeper dive into weather. We call it More with Moeller. I'm meteorologist Craig Moeller. We normally do these around 10:30 each morning. We honestly, to come full transparency, we had a little issue with our switcher in our studio control room, and now we're on here at about 10:50 on Tuesday morning, but we're good to go. And I want to talk to you about some of our headlines. Here we go. Weather highlights across the United States. We've got some issues that are ongoing out there. We're going to talk about that. As we take a look ahead, I've got an update for you on travel weather tomorrow, Thursday. As we look ahead to the upcoming weekend, there's plenty to talk about, including a significant weather maker for Thanksgiving Day. Parts of the country will see snow on Thanksgiving. We're going to dive into that. And we've got a cold air outbreak on the way for the eastern half of the country. We'll talk about how extensive that's going to be, how long it's going to last. Plenty to break down for you. All right, we're going to start off, though, with our weather highlights across the United States. And as we take a look, let's start off with what's going on out there. I think for parts of the country, it's really not bad at all, but we do have some unsettled weather in the Northeast and some more snow back out west, and that old atmospheric river continues to bring moisture into central California. Now, if you've been watching More with Moeller over the last couple of days, we've talked a lot about the atmospheric river. It was impacting parts of Northern California and even up into the Pacific Northwest, but it shifted a little farther south, and now it's the central portions of California that have been seeing more of the rain and very heavy snow over the Nevada Sierras. We've seen it back into the mountains here of California as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at some video. We have that to show you. Again, this is just vapor imagery, and you can see this loop showing how that moisture is streaming towards the central part of the California coast. Residents there on Monday, they had more rain. That was yesterday as the rain continues to pour in across the central part of California. Got to tell you, though, they are seeing these heavy amounts of rain continuing today on Tuesday, and heavy snow in some places up to 3 or 4 feet of snow forecast for the highest elevations in the Sierra Nevada mountains. So we're watching for that. Unfortunately, this flooding situation across parts of California has been responsible or tied to 3 people that have been killed, and there have been thousands, hundreds of thousands of customers that have lost power. So we're going to talk some more about that situation in a moment as far as the flooding, but I want to take you out to the Northeast because it's not just rain. We have some mixed precipitation right now impacting Vermont and New Hampshire up into Maine. Let's take the graphic full. I'm going to walk over to the maps and spend a little time talking to you about this. Again, storm system coming through. It's actually dragging a front down through the mid-Atlantic. That's going to start to cool us down a little bit for tomorrow, but there's a bigger, more significant push of cold air that's going to come in as we go into the upcoming weekend and beyond that. We'll talk a lot about it. Right now, places like St. Johnsbury and Newport, over to Berlin, Conway, Meredith, Webster, Lebanon, these areas seeing this mix of rain and snow, maybe some sleet pellets somewhere in there, and a little freezing rain potentially. As we take a look back towards Cape Cod, they're just seeing the approach of the showers out to the west. Boston now dealing with rain this morning. We've got it down through Hartford and Bridgeport. As you head to New York City, they've seen showers off and on, still working across Long Island. Looks like most of the area in the downtown area of New York, farther east and back over into New Jersey, kind of on the back edge. But the wet weather extends back down. Philly saw the rain earlier, and this is all associated with a cold front that is coming through. Hampton Roads seeing a little bit of wet weather. Not a lot, but just some scattered showers from Williamsburg and eventually through parts of the south side, Hampton Roads, and off to the south of that. All right, as we take a look down across Atlanta and Georgia, you can see back through South Carolina. Earlier, there were some showers. That was much earlier. We're taking a look at the loop over the last 3 hours or so, and you can see now the showers are kind of winding down, and they have weakened. Out west, we have more snow, and you can see that back over the Rockies. You can see Denver there kind of in better shape on the eastern part. You get into the high plains and the Front Range, not as much, but over the mountains there, still dealing with some snow. And we've got some snow flying across Utah, back across Nevada, as well as that moisture pours in across central California. Now, it's funny, as I was putting together kind of the weather highlights, some of the different areas we're talking about right now around the country, I took a look at this and I thought, you know, we've got people maybe watching from all over the country and certainly along the eastern seaboard, the mid-Atlantic. You take a look at the radar, and I asked some of my coworkers, I said, what do you think's going on here? You see these little lines where there's no precipitation. If you look real carefully, you can see a few of what almost look like little spokes where there are breaks here. You can see them off to the north. And I asked some of the folks here in the East Coast where we don't see that type of a return on the radar, you got any idea on what's going on? And there were a couple of thoughts. They knew it was probably related to the mountains. But what I wanted to show you is out west, when you get up into the elevations, you get up into the mountainous areas, the National Weather Service worked very hard to position their radars to get the most coverage possible. In Salt Lake City, they put out the 88 WSR 88D, the Doppler radar, back in the 90s. I was working in Salt Lake City at the time when they located it. They put it out on Promontory Point, and they did that so that they could see weather approaching over the west deserts and looking off to the north and northwest. But the bottom line is you've got mountain peaks here, and every once in a while those mountain peaks block the radar. I mean, the radar obviously can't shoot through the mountain. It only goes so far. And behind the mountain, you get shadows. And that's the same thing you're seeing if you look at this radar loop right here. You see that line? We'll show you one more time with the loop. There it is. You can see it. That's from the Cedar City radar, which has got a mountaintop that's blocking. So you get this shadow behind the mountain where you just don't pick it up. So I thought that was kind of interesting. You know, for you weather enthusiasts, it might take a look at your radar app and go, man, why is there always this difficulty in seeing this or that? It's a lot of times out west due to the mountains. And when you see that spoke where there's always shadows, you know, behind the mountains, you know there's a mountaintop there. So I thought I'd share that with you. Now, out on the west coast, central California, we've got it zoomed in here to show you there's a flood advisory. And it's kind of interesting. What it takes to produce flooding in one part of the country is a lot different from other areas. They're really only looking for maybe another 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 an inch of rain in some of these areas. And there could be some locally heavier amounts, but that's going to be enough to produce some additional flooding. So this is a flood advisory you can see over portions of the central and east central parts of California into the mountains, very heavy snow. We talked about Mammoth Lakes yesterday. It talked about the snowfall potential, maybe another 3 feet of snow or so. And they've been seeing a lot of that heavy snow out there continuing. Central part of the country in good shape for now, but that's going to change up. And I want to show you that. We're going to zoom in, focus here on this next developing storm system. If you saw maybe a lead here, I know we're streaming on YouTube as well, and we talked about, okay, a Thanksgiving Day snow. Well, take a look here. This is our futurecast. This is one of our models, the graph model. You can see by Wednesday, 5 o'clock, we've got this area of rain developing in the central U.S. Now, this includes parts of Ohio, Indiana, back across Illinois and Missouri, down through the Boot Heel, and even western parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. A little bit of wet weather here. This is going to continue to strengthen, and eventually it's going to interact with some colder air as we go through the overnight Wednesday night and into early Thursday. So again, Wednesday, travel time. Folks getting out. And as you're going, if you're going to be traveling overnight Wednesday night into early Thursday and you're anywhere across central Indiana, Ohio, back up into northern Pennsylvania and New York State, just know you may encounter some snow overnight Wednesday night into early Thursday. As we continue into the pre-sunrise hours on Thursday, the moisture pulls east. Now you can see rain across Pennsylvania, Maryland, northern parts of Georgia, and back out through West Virginia, back down into western parts of North Carolina and Tennessee. So this is where the rain is. But once you go north of that, you get out of Virginia, you get out of Maryland, you get up into Pennsylvania, it's cold enough to support snow. Northern Pennsylvania, New York State, and Ohio. That's going to continue to move off to the northeast. So 8 o'clock, sun's up now, or, well, it'll be obscured by the clouds, but the sun will be up above the horizon as the sky brightens. Snow widespread for upstate New York, back across northern parts of Pennsylvania, and this system moves along. So Thanksgiving, not just wet, but white with snowfall across northeast parts of Pennsylvania, New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, western parts of Massachusetts. That's Thursday, 2 o'clock. Maybe a little bit of snow over some of the higher elevations in West Virginia. They'll be happy to get a little bit of that snow. Very pretty. Rain chances across the mid-Atlantic for Thanksgiving. And then as we go into the evening, more snow wrapping around on the backside of the system. Again, some colder air pooling in. Eastern New York. Again, New England still dealing with snow. Boston mainly rain, but a little cooler just out to the west. A little bit of snow there. Then as the cold air plunges to the southeast across the Great Lakes region, you look at this map and you're going, okay, I'm seeing a little more snow around the Great Lakes. That is lake effect snow. So you've got cold air blowing in with these northwest winds, and you get little plumes of snow coming off Lake Michigan here, up around Traverse City. You can see some lake effect snow. Back across Lake Huron, you can see some snow into Canada, a little bit approaching Toronto, maybe a little bit coming off Lake Erie into parts of Pennsylvania and New York State. Buffalo, might see a little bit of snow, some lake effect snow. Could see some coming off Lake Ontario as well. So just wanted to share that with you. That's Thursday night into early Friday. Now we're going to talk about Thanksgiving travel and the travel update. And ABC ran a package. I want to share some of the video because a lot of folks are traveling. Record travel anticipated this week. And you can see there's a bit of a headache there. 2 planes kind of tapping wings. That happened the other night as 2 different planes, an American Airlines flight arriving from London clipped a Frontier flight parked at the gate. So they had a little issue there. That was at Boston Logan. Now we're looking at all these folks taking to the skies, and again, 10 million put through, more than 10 million put through TSA screening since last Thursday, and they anticipate record amounts of travel. 50,000 flights scheduled to take off today, and keep in mind the FAA has been dealing with air traffic controller shortages in the Northeast. Now, a big concern, obviously, we've had the weather that we're talking about, and again, I guess the one upside to travel right now, gas prices are down, so that is certainly good news. Let's talk some more about travel over the holidays, and we'll go back to our radar because I want to give you some more information here as we look forward day by day. Again, the showers potentially, I just showed you the radar for the Northeast, what's going on right now. That's going to continue to work eastward. Great weather for travel here early on Wednesday. No problems along the East Coast here. Out west, some snow back across parts of Colorado. This is Wednesday. Things starting to improve a little bit out on the West Coast. California needs a break. Northwest U.S. will take it. Things looking pretty good across much of the Southwest. But this snow here in Colorado looks like it may settle a little farther south into New Mexico late Wednesday into early Thursday. Later on Thanksgiving, here comes that next storm system. I talked about the Thanksgiving snow developing across the Ohio River Valley and pulling into the Northeast. Here's another model showing that. Rain chances for much of the mid-Atlantic down through the Southeast U.S. This is for Thursday. As we go Thursday night and into early Friday, eventually that stuff pulls away and we see drier conditions. Black Friday looking pretty good, again, for much of the country. Some lake effect snow potentially Friday, even into Saturday, as you can see. But again, travel not looking too bad on Saturday and Sunday. The next busiest day you've got tomorrow, expected to be the busiest travel day. And then Sunday, the next busiest travel day as folks largely start heading back to their home places. So you take a look here, Sunday not looking too bad for much of the country. Maybe some wet weather down along the Texas coastline and some unsettled weather back around the Great Lakes region. So that's a look ahead. All right, as far as temperatures go, for Wednesday, temperatures close to 50, Boston and New York, 63 around Raleigh. You get down to Atlanta, 66, and 81 in Orlando. In the central U.S., we've got that rain developing later Wednesday in St. Louis, 48, 44 in Chicago, chilly up in Minneapolis, 30 degrees there. 84 down in Houston, nice and warm down in Houston, 77 in Dallas. Denver with some snow, 34. This is for Wednesday. Things looking good around Seattle. San Francisco, beautiful, 60 and sunny. Vegas looking good, a little more cloud cover there in Los Angeles. That's for Wednesday. Now we're going to take a look at the regional travel weather through the Mid-Atlantic. A lot of folks, in case you're wondering, my name is Craig Moeller. I'm a meteorologist at 13 News Now, and that we serve Hampton Roads, which is southeast Virginia, Virginia Beach and Norfolk, down through eastern North Carolina, the Outer Banks, this whole region. That's kind of our home television market. But we do this for everybody all around the country, and maybe folks even around the world that are going to be coming stateside. They want to know more about the weather. You want to take a deeper dive into it. That's why I do this every single day, so you get some more information. As you can see, for the Mid-Atlantic region, conditions looking good for travel by car to Richmond, Charlottesville, D.C., Raleigh, out towards Charlotte, Columbia. It all looks good. If you're going out to Asheville, looking good there. Travel coming into Norfolk, just fine on Wednesday. All right, back to the maps we go for Thursday, Thanksgiving. Now, I mentioned the snow flying across parts of the Northeast. New York City and Boston should be warm enough for rain, but areas farther inland, that's where we could see some snow. Cleveland, 42 for a high there, 66 at Raleigh, 64 in Atlanta. New Orleans, maybe a stray storm. Orlando looking good, 82 and partly sunny. In the central U.S., it's going to be chilly again up in Minneapolis. You remember Wednesday, close to 30. How about Thanksgiving Day, 26 degrees for Minneapolis. 37 in Chicago, 40 in St. Louis, 51 for Dallas and Little Rock. Little cooler air pushing in there. A little more sunshine. San Fran, Vegas, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, and Denver. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But it is going to be chilly. And again, with all that fresh snowfall, I can just imagine how gorgeous the Wasatch Range and the Rockies are going to be out west. Absolutely wonderful. All right, Billings, 25 degrees. There you go. All right, let's take a look at our next topic. We've got a big cold air outbreak upcoming. It is on the way. And I want to show you some things that I want folks, especially here in the Mid-Atlantic, to think about, all right? And these are 3 things to know, all right? This is likely to be the coldest outbreak of the season so far, okay? We've had 2 days where we got down to 39 degrees at Norfolk International Airport. So twice we've dropped down to 39 for the overnight lows. And I get it. Folks watching maybe from the upper Midwest are like, oh my gosh, that sounds like almost like summertime, right? Well, not here. Right here on the coast, we're used to warmer weather. So for the lows so far this season, this fall season, since last winter, this is as chilly as it's been so far, 39. So next week, as I look forward, we're talking lows down into the 20s. And keep this in mind, while coastal areas are there, inland areas could be 10 degrees cooler. I mean, we're talking potentially very cold air inland. I mentioned the 2 times we got to 39. One of those was Friday morning. We actually had some freeze warnings up for inland areas. And again, yesterday morning, 39 degrees. Those were the coldest readings. I'm going to take a quick sip of coffee. All right, appreciate that. All right, as we take a look here at what's coming up, watch this cold air plunge. And I'm going to step over to the big board here and take a look so I can talk to you about these cold temperatures. Notice how it's been a little bit warmer. It has been for the past several days. As a matter of fact, all but 6 of the days of November so far have been above average. Today will be another above average day in the Mid-Atlantic. So we've had our warm weather. For Wednesday, another warm day, not quite as cold, or not quite as warm as it has been, where you're going to be for daytime highs closer to, say, 59 degrees or so in Norfolk. But temperatures relative to what's coming, still pretty warm for the southeast U.S. So you see the cold air up across the north central part of the country. North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana. Here it comes. As we go into Thursday, behind that system, remember the snowmaker we said Wednesday night into Thursday, pulling this colder air on the back side of it. Watch how this cold air plummets and just plunges down south. And so much of the southeast U.S., much colder than it has been. This is into Saturday, and that cold air really settles in Sunday and even into early next week. We're going to see the coldest air of the season so far Monday and Tuesday. So just get ready. Know that it's coming. It's out there, and it's on the way. Now, you look at the forecast here over the next 10 days, and this is just for Hampton Roads. Overnight lows, mid-40s. This is for early Wednesday, 50 for Thursday morning, Thanksgiving there. You're back in the low 40s on Friday. But then Saturday, we get down to 33. And again, this is at the airport. Inland areas will be cooler. 31 on Sunday for morning low, then 28 on Monday, 28 Tuesday, 29 Wednesday. I suspect some inland parts of the mid-Atlantic region, some areas out towards I-95, towards Richmond and Emporia, maybe Franklin, some of those communities out that way, we could see temperatures dipping down into the low 20s, maybe close to 20 degrees or so. Really cold air for early next week. Take a look at the 8 to 14-day outlook. Precipitation. I showed this map yesterday with Moeller, but I want to do it again because you'll see as things have evolved from yesterday to today, we still have the drier conditions than normal expected across much of the central U.S. A little bit wetter, starting to nudge farther north across South Texas. So if you've got travel plans down there, keep an eye to that. Slightly wetter than normal across the northern tier of the U.S. Here's the look, though, when you talk temperatures. Still really, really chilly as we look ahead to that 8 to 14-day outlook. This is December 2nd through the 10th. So we're not talking about just a couple cold mornings, a quick shot and then gone. Nope. It's going to be with us for a while. It's going to be a sustained period of below normal weather that lasts through next week. And again, counting out the days, we could see almost 2 weeks of temperatures below average. So quite the temperature and the pattern change. This morning, temperatures were in the upper 40s to low 50s across much of the area. I mentioned yesterday we were down to 39 at the airport. So this morning we were 13 degrees warmer in Norfolk. We had some parts of the inland parts of the area that were 20 to 25 degrees warmer this morning than yesterday. So huge difference. Pick up our futurecast. We've got some showers working across the area this morning. As we go through the afternoon and into the evening, I expect some gradual clearing. Looking ahead to Tuesday and really Tuesday night and early Wednesday, skies will become mainly clear for a little bit, and then clouds increase again, temperatures back into the upper 50s. So tomorrow's going to be closer to average, a little bit maybe below. It's going to be really close. As we get into Thursday, should warm up a bit more, but here comes the rain for Thanksgiving, and you can see the showers kind of pushing through the area. As we go into Friday, we should be drier. Looking forward to that. All right, here's a live look right now with our Priority Automotive Sky View. That's from Nauticus, looking over the Elizabeth River, and the clouds have rolled in. We do have some clouds and some showers out there right now, kind of dotting through, moving across the area. Later today, gradual clearing, highs in the mid-60s. We're going to find temperatures off to the north for the eastern shore, low 60s there. Look for temperatures generally mid to upper 60s back towards Williamsburg and Gloucester, and then down to the south, temperatures mid to upper 60s for inland areas and pretty close to that at the Outer Banks. Not a terrible day, but a little bit of wet weather out there for you to contend with, so you may want to keep an umbrella close at hand for your Tuesday around Hampton Roads. Overnight lows near 45. Tomorrow's high temperatures back up around 59. Partly sunny skies, looking pretty good for your Wednesday, your getaway day. After that, temperatures a little bit warmer. We get a bump on Thursday, and then that next storm system comes through, and then it starts dragging in the colder air behind it. Temperatures in the mid to upper 40s over the weekend, low 40s from Monday into Tuesday, and that's when we expect to see the morning low temperatures in the upper 20s, so certainly much chillier there. Now, these cooler temperatures, they may have you thinking about the holidays, and with the holidays come holiday events. I'm going to take care of a little bit of housekeeping here and mention something I'm really excited to be a part of. In Virginia Beach, they have an annual lighted boat parade. And coming up on Saturday, December 7th at 5 o'clock, we're going to have the boat parade. I will be emceeing the event. Super excited to do that. It's a lot of fun. The boats are beautiful. We're going to be at Chick's Oyster Bar there on Vista Circle in Virginia Beach. You can still get tickets, and if you're interested in entering your boat, if you want to decorate, they'll take entries all the way up through December 2nd. So you have plenty of time to sign up to be a part of the holiday boat parade. It is a great time. And again, at Chick's Oyster Bar, are you kidding me? It's a phenomenal time. You sit there at the Oyster Bar right there on the Lynn Haven, and you get to enjoy the parade of lighted boats. It's awesome. So check that out. All right, reminder, you can find me on social media. Craig Moeller on Facebook, Instagram at Craig Moeller TV, and on X or Twitter, you can find me at 13 Craig Moeller. go ahead, look me up there. And if you've got questions, you can always shoot me some questions about that. We're going to be doing more of that interactively as we go forward. There's actually some big plans for this More with Moeller. So keep checking back with us over the coming weeks and into early 2025. We're going to be talking with more Mets from across the country and really diving even deeper into some of these weather topics. Guys, thanks so much for spending time with me today. Again, we want you to travel safely. If you're headed out on the roads or taking to the air, have a wonderful Thanksgiving and keep checking back for more with Moeller.